Hi guys, Simon here from Altegra. Today's video, we're going to demonstrate how to set up Compact Canopy. I brought along with me the traditional tall frame Altegra marquee. This stands at 1.6 metres tall. We've had this on the market now for around 15 years, and after about 5 years in development we decided we had a lot of customers wanting something a little smaller that they could pack and fit into their cars without having SUVs, trailers, vans or station wagons. So we put a lot of research and development. It took about 2 years to come up with a design for the Compact Canopy. Now it's a fantastic product, it's personally one of my favourites, but there's a few additional moves in the actual setup of the Compact Canopy, which is what I'd like to show you today. So with the Compact Canopy you'll see that the actual frame height is much lower than the traditional marquee. This one stands at around 1 metre tall, just over a metre, which is around about 3.5 feet. So this can be easily folded down and put in your back seat of your car, or also in the boot on almost any vehicle. Now, the benefits of this model is also that it's quite light. It still weighs in at around about 25 kilos, which is very compatible with the tall frame. And you can still pack the canopy into the side pocket, and the pegs and guy ropes are in the side of the bag as well. Okay, first of all, remove the canopy from the side pocket. Place that down on the ground. Remove your pegs and ropes. We'll need them for later. We need to remove the bag. Just lay it on the ground. Slide the bottom of the bag off. Stand it back up, and the bag will just slide off nice and easy. Okay, the first step is to expand the frame to about 5 feet or 1.5 metres apart. After this step, we'd usually put the canopy on. I just want to explain to you, this centre pole then has to come up after the canopy's been placed on. Once you hear that audible click, you'll see that the button's located into place. Step 2, we're going to place the canopy on top of the frame. Just start with one corner. Let the Velcro attach. Work your way around slowly. Just make sure the canopy's spread evenly across the frame. The very important part of this next piece is to make sure that the middle of the canopy, there's a reinforcement, goes exactly on top of that centre cap and lines up perfectly. As you can see there, the fabric stitching's running both ways across the centre cap. Once that's done, you can then raise the centre bar until you hear the audible click. The next step is to set up the lower legs. I'll show you how to pop all 4 of those up. If we just zoom in onto this leg here, all we have to do is simply raise the frame and push the foot plate down to the lower leg until you hear the click. At this stage, don't touch any of the pull rings. We'll work around the other 3 legs and we'll move on from there. So now we've got all of the 4 lower legs slid down and in place. It's time to expand the frame a little larger than what it currently is. If you put your hands on the lower and upper crossbar connectors, what we're going to do is push these connectors together and walk backwards to try and expand the frame. The next step now is the crucial step. You need to set up the middle leg. By doing this, you have to pull what I call the middle pull ring. If you see here, I call it the lower pull ring for the leg heights, the centre pull ring and the upper pull ring. So we're now going to work on the middle pull ring and actually lift the frame up. And the reason for doing the middle leg first is because what we need to do, as you can see this hole up the top here for the upper pin, which locates into this hole, the hole's actually still has the inner leg inside the sleeve. That's one of the additional features of the Compact Canopy. So we need to remove that aluminium extrusion from inside this sleeve to expose that hole. So to expose that hole, we pull the middle pull ring and lift the leg. You can release the pull ring until you hear the click. Now I'm going to work around the other 3 legs exactly the same. Our next step here is to get the upper pull ring in a position. As you can see now, the hole has been exposed by the middle leg getting into position. So we need to grab the bottom part of this crossbow, put our foot on the cross plate and push up. And you can hear that click and that upper leg is now in position. So after you've got the first one in position, we're going to walk around and do the other 3. The first one's always the most tricky, the other 3 are pretty simple. Number 2. 3. And 4. So once you have the last pull ring in position, the frame is actually all in place and the canopy, as you'll see, is nice and taut. So the actual Compact Canopy is now fully set up. All we need to do is do the internal canopy straps to make sure that it's attached to the frame, and then do your leg heights. So guys, there you have it. The full setup of a compact 3x3 Pro Lite 40mm aluminium marquee. Nice and simple, pretty quick, a few little tricks, a couple of little extra moves, but all in all, it's a fantastic frame and easy to use.